What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Hope you're all having a great day, people. I feel fired up for it today. I don't know why, man. I'm feeling like a young Nicholas Anelka today, man. Rebel settings, man. I'm telling you. No messing about. But big up to every single one of you today. It is Thursday, which means we are 48 hours away from Arsenal trying their very best to ruin our entire weekend. But regardless, people, as I always say, if they mash up midweek, don't let them ruin the week. And if they mash up at the weekend, do not let them ruin the weekend. It's Arsenal. You know what time it is when it comes to Arsenal, people. So we're moving into the week and a few bits to talk about, some transfer speculation, so on and so forth. Big up to every one of you in the chat. Hope you're well. Can see all the usual names. Big up to all of you, man. Big up Alan, who said, I'm on a 3-hour train from Gothenburg to Malmo. Stream will help get me through. I'm happy to help, man. Omar, well, let's go there right now. As soon as you call it out, we hit Granit Xhaka mode, people. You know what time it is. We have to slow things down a little bit. You know, you have to take your time sometimes, people. Patience is a virtue and all of that. Big up to every one of you. South London's finest, Snake Eyes, every one of you. Big up to everyone who tuned in for the member stream yesterday. For those of you who couldn't make it, you know, sorry about that. We're going to try and make them more frequent. I think 6 or 7 of you came on yesterday. It was a brilliant stream. Really enjoyed listening to your points of view and your feelings on the manager, transfers, so on and so forth. And yeah, we'll probably do another one in 2 weeks. We'll definitely get another one on before Christmas. People are calling it Thomas Partey mode, people. You see that? This is the man that had man spinning around the Emirates. You know what I'm saying? Robbie was dancing around the Emirates. Now we're just disrespecting the man, calling him a granddad and all sorts. But hey, it is what it is, people. Now, for most of us, today is Thursday. It's just Thursday, people. Another day, another chance, and all of that. But for Arsenal Football Club, today's not just Thursday. And no, Arsenal have not gone and signed a player and given us something to get excited about. They haven't moved the manager on and told us they're going to appoint Zinedine Zidane. No, nothing like that. Today means more of this, people. More merch. That's right. Thursday to us, but merchandise day for Arsenal. They are shameless. If ever there was a club that had 2 contradictions, it is Arsenal Football Club. Because when it comes to PR, and when it comes to merchandise, drippy settings, we are Champions League elite settings, people. We are elite when it comes to fashion and PR. It's just on the pitch. We left Europe quicker than Brexit under Mikel Arteta. If it was how we looked and how we did things off the pitch, we would be champions of England. That is for damn sure, people. Now, look at the way they are manipulating us with the players. First of all, I'm going to have to zoom in on this, right? So I'm going to go off screen for a minute. They put Bukayo Saka with a little puppy on his lap. Oh, a little cute Bukayo with a little puppy. Oh, it's melting everyone's heart. Let's buy the top. You put Smith Rowe there, you know, oh, Saka and Emil Smith Rowe. They put Ramsdale in there, who's everyone's favourite player of the month, 2 months in a row. They put Kieran Tierney, you know, people saying, we need him to be the captain. And you just throw Ian Wright in the background as well. And then you put some of the women's players in there. The PR is nothing short of magnificent. They are shameless beyond belief. The worst thing is, people, I looked at this picture this morning. I woke up to an email. Then there was a picture. Then it was all over the website. I had to close down the screen very quickly, right? I had to close down the screen very quickly because the temptation was there, right? And I had to stay away from it. The fact they lost to Everton in the week, it easily took me away from it. It's a good job they didn't beat Man United or Everton, or I could have been pulling out the sort code and account number for next day delivery. I can't lie, people. But fortunately, I stayed strong. I stayed away from it. You know, the puppy in front of Saka, that's not enough for me right now, people. You know what I'm saying? So I have to stay away from it. I'm like, boy, like, what are we celebrating? You know, what are we actually celebrating for be pulling out more training kit? Oh, yeah, let's celebrate Damari Gray's 92nd minute winner against Arsenal with a brand new training kit to take you into Christmas, people. I'm sorry, I'll stay well away from it, people. Babby Shamar said, when one player of quality is underperforming, it's the player. When all of them do, it's the manager. Listen, don't get me started. You're going to get me started. We've got quite a bit to talk about today, and I'm going to be touching on that a little bit more. See, here's the victim, first victim of the day, Martin. Insert the hashtag. We will insert the hashtag, my friend. Too late. I've already ordered. It's painful, isn't it? I'm going to be honest, people. Talk to me. It's hard work staying away. I've stayed away. I believe at this stage, Kevin Campbell was playing for Arsenal in that yellow kit. So, Kev, man, you must have a shirt for me in the wardrobe or something. I'm not buying it. I'm done with them. They've had enough money off me. As you know, I haven't been to one game this season despite having a season ticket, people. That tells you where I'm at with this football club. Even the History Channel for the new merch. Listen, they're following my lead, people. I'm showing Arsenal where to go. Don't bring all this new merch out. We don't want it. You ain't doing nothing right now. If you want to bring out merch, History Channel settings. That's the only way it's going to run because we can connect to the old Arsenal. We can't connect to this new Arsenal. You know, it's like being in a building and you haven't got the Wi-Fi password. We can't connect. Man said Bakayo Kardashian. Like, what they trying to do to us? Oh, Bakayo, I tell you what, let's put a puppy in front of you. You look really cute with that. Come on, stop it, Arsenal, man. You lot are a disgrace. Ostrich said, I was sucked in and bought the merch. My justification was the women's team is currently doing well. Yo, I'm telling you, buying Arsenal merch is like going to the gym in the morning and then you finish your evening with a McDonald's and, you know, a vanilla milkshake on your lap. You know you shouldn't have done it, but at the time you convinced yourself it was right. You feel dirty after buying Arsenal merch. You know, you have to have a shower and, oh, what have I done? They've drawn me in. So big up to you, bro. Big up Daniel Bailey. I hope you're well, bro. He said, afternoon, Curtis. I hope you're well. It's been a while since I've been able to catch your stream. We will have to do a show together at some point. Definitely, bro. Definitely. Just message me, man. We try and figure out around the two schedules, you know. Victim settings, man. I'm telling you, we're the victims right now. They don't care. D-Man said, I'm close. I'm really close, bro. I hope by the time you get on the website, you know, it's sold out or something. I hope we're safe from ourselves. Cap said the tracksuit is fire. Hey, don't do it. At least wait until they've won a few games. Don't do it right now. You know, every day I'm waffling said Aubameyang and Lacazette missed out on the new merchandise advertisement. See, they know what they're doing, Arsenal. Let's be honest. Every advert that Arsenal were pulling out had Aubameyang and Lacazette in it. Big drip. It might have even had a gold chain on. Now them two are stinking out the place. That man can't get nowhere near an advert. You got Saka with puppies on his lap. It's all mad, people. It's all mad. Arsenal, I'm telling you, when it comes to PR and merchandise, we are, you know, we're the invincibles. When it comes to the football team, we probably are like that puppy that is sitting on Bukayo Saka's lap, mate. You know, it looks good, but you know what I mean? It ain't particularly useful. Greeny Man said Forest v Arsenal. Hopefully I'll be at that one, man. Hometown settings, you know. But listen, let's move on. Puppies FC, you know what I'm saying? Aubameyang probably, you know, was getting ready like, yo, listen, lads, we got an advert to do. They said, Oba, you know, we've been looking at your record this season. I think you're going to have to sit this one out. We've got the puppy in to replace you, you know. So, yeah, man said it's the puppy for me. I'm telling you, that puppy will actually make people buy that. But yeah, like I said, people, History Channel settings is in full effect and Arsenal know what to do. Tammy said, Curtis, I do that in the gym in the morning, eat the wrong things in the evening. It's very easy to do, man. You sit there, it's dark, and you're like, yo, I'm cold. You know, I need some cake and custard. And then your gym session's been wiped out. Akanyezi said, I've managed to be disciplined. Last time I bought merch was 2 seasons ago. Well done, man. And D-Man said, Big C, I DM'd you on Twitter about becoming a member. It's not coming up with anything through the link. There's been some issues with the members being able to join. Spoke to YouTube about it. I think there's 2 options. Number one, if you go through your desktop, if you're watching on a computer, it should say join next to subscribe. The other one was, they say when you're watching on your phone, underneath the video, it should give you a join option there as well. When I'm putting the link in the description, people are clicking it and it's not giving them the option. So apologies for that, man. YouTube settings, I'm afraid. Cake and custard settings. Let's move on. Just quickly before I get into today's, main part of the video. Shahira said, yeah, there's a membership issue in the link through iPhone. There you go. You got more info than me. I appreciate that. Apologies, people. If you're on iPhone, it could be a problem. Something I found interesting, it was just touching on something we were discussing yesterday. We were obviously talking about Mikel Arteta and Pepe yesterday and whose fault is it? And someone put a great comment in earlier on, that if one player is out of form, two players are out of form, I think you can call out the player and say, you're just not performing. When 3, 4, 5 players are not performing, I think you have to look at the manager and what is going on. Now, a couple of things I just wanted to talk about here, just briefly. A few of the players that are massively in focus at the moment. One is Nicolas Pepe. One is Thomas Partey, Aubameyang. I've even seen people talking about Kieran Tierney saying, at one stage we were calling him the best left back in the Prem. Now he's struggling to get back in the team. I looked at the managers that these guys in particular were playing for prior to joining Arsenal. Now, Thomas Partey was playing for Diego Simeone, an elite manager. You would probably put him top 5 or 6 in the world. I don't particularly like his style of football, but he's had huge success, Champions League finals, he's won La Liga, all of those sorts of things. Thomas Partey, for me, in the Atletico Madrid team, was a powerhouse. Hunt you down, win the ball back. It was like watching Taken, I will find you and I will get you. He was doing that. He would hunt you down. I remember when we played against him in the Europa League semi-final, we couldn't get away from him. He hunted us down. At Arsenal, we're trying to make him dictate play like he's a young Cesc Fabregas. He's never been that guy. He never will be that guy. So why we're trying to do that, I will never know. But that is Arteta tax, people. Yeah, I'm pulling up receipts. Like you say, Falalu, he won the ball, give it to Koke. Win the ball, give it to Sal. They do the ball playing. You're the powerhouse. We want him to dictate possession. He's not capable of it. The next guy, Nicolas Pepe. Pepe played at Lille for Bielsa. Bielsa, of course, is the Leeds manager. Now, everybody says Bielsa's football is blockbuster football. It is rock and roll. They win games 4-3. They lose games 4-3. It is end-to-end stuff. That would suit Pepe down to the ground. It's explosive. It's quick. Some wingers, you give them possession. You want to give them the ball constantly. Your Hazard, your Sanchez. You wanted them on the ball 24/7. Some wingers are moments players in that you don't want them on the ball 24/7. You want them on the end of attacks, finishing things. I look at Pepe as a finisher. He's not a guy that drives on the ball and goes past 3 players. You want him one-on-one with the goalkeeper. You want him in the penalty area. I'm sure Bielsa knew how to get the best of him. After that, his manager was Christophe Galtier, who won the league last year for Lille ahead of PSG, playing counter-attacking football. Again, suited Pepe down to the ground. Galtier and Bielsa, 2 managers that clearly understood what was happening when he was there. Oh, oh, oh. That one's for you, Barcelona. And you know what? I had to sing that, Martin, because like I said, growing up, I liked Barcelona, until UEFA started cheating with Barcelona against Arsenal. So, yeah, that Europa League tune, that's for Barca, getting knocked into the Europa League. But, hey, what can I say? We're not even in Europe. But, yeah, it's funny how times change. We then continue, by the way. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who was his manager? Borussia Dortmund, it was Thomas Tuchel, the guy who just won the Champions League with Chelsea. You see how defensive he is. One love, you drew me out. Stand up. If you ain't Tottenham, stand up. You get me at once, people. You get me at once. As I said, Thomas Tuchel was his manager when he had a huge level of success. You've seen how defensive he is at Chelsea. He explodes on the counter-attack. Again, a manager that clearly understands how to manage Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. If you look at Aubameyang and Arteta as a collective together, Aubameyang's most successful time at Arsenal coincides with Arteta's most successful time at Arsenal The first season when we won the FA Cup. How did we win the FA Cup? We won the FA Cup by playing 3 central defenders. When we beat Manchester City in the semi-final, hit them on the counter-attack, Aubameyang scored 2 goals. When we played Chelsea, hit them on the counter-attack, Aubameyang wins the penalty, scores, and the chip where he dinks Caballero. Counter-attack. Pepe was thriving in the counter-attack. He finished that season really well. Everyone said big season for him. Arteta went to 4 at the back, wanting to control the tempo of the game. We had a shocking season last year, and we're having a bad season this year. To me, this Arsenal team is built for counter-attack, especially against better opposition. We aren't good enough to play Liverpool, Man City, United, and dominate possession and control the game. We don't have the midfield for that, unfortunately. And I respect Arteta wanting to do that because big clubs want to impose themselves. We are not good enough to do that. I think Arteta needs to seriously consider going back to a back 3, particularly in the big games. Sit back. We've got good enough defenders and hit teams on the break. Use Aubameyang, use Pepe, and hit them on the break. But I just don't think he's going to want to do that because, in a way, you're giving up possession a little bit. And we're very rigid now in transition from defense to attack. So, listen, just a few things I wanted to get in there. In terms of, like I said, Arteta attacks, we say it on a regular basis. If you're going to sign a player, have a plan of how to use them. You can't just sign players and go, he's a good player, chuck him in and see what happens. It doesn't work like that. Our best spell under Arteta was 3-4-3. Aubameyang played left, Pepe right, and we scored goals. We hit teams on the break. Trying to dominate possession, I don't think we're good enough to do that at the moment, particularly against the better teams. Maybe you get away with it against inferior opposition. Dow said, Dow's become a member. Big up to you, bro. Really appreciate that. Thank you for your support. Like I said, we'll do another member stream in the next 2 weeks. Sharguna said, well said, Curtis. Big up, bro. And listen, just a few things to you first to, get you thinking there a little bit. Listen, I'm not saying a new manager comes in and Partey turns back into a beast. Maybe he's not built for the Premier League. Maybe Aubameyang is past his best and you'll never see the best of him. Maybe Pepe doesn't suit the Prem. However, I just believe that a different system that gives them something different to believe in would work, would help them. People saying HMRC, Arteta. I'm telling you, people. Even Martinelli as well at the moment. I don't feel like he thrives in this. Martinelli is another one for me that looks a little bit like a counter-attacking base player. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that a lot of our attacking players are struggling. Martinelli has not thrived under Arteta. Neither has Aubameyang. Neither has Lacazette. Neither has Pepe. It cannot be, neither has Thomas Partey. It cannot be that all these players are suddenly just bad footballers. It's too coincidental, Jurgen Klopp was calling Martinelli generational. This guy now struggles to get in the Arsenal team that has just finished 8th twice. Why is that? I saw a report the other day that Pep Guardiola is changing the way he uses his wingers. And he's gone from 2 years ago, his wingers were Sterling and Leroy Sané. Quick, direct, fast players. Players that gambled in the sense that they're the type of wingers that they go at you, they go at you, they go at you. When you are a winger like that and you run at a fullback constantly, you get a lot of joy, but you also lose possession a lot because you're gambling every time you try and take your fullback on. He's now changed and gone for your Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva type of winger. Much less direct, but keep possession a lot more. And I think that's what Arteta is trying to follow in the sense that he likes Saka and Smith Rowe because they're tidier. They drift inside. On the left, you got the right footer, on the right, the left footer, and they keep possession a lot more. They don't really go at the fullback that much. Pepe loses possession. Martinelli loses possession because I would say they gamble a little bit more. But listen, it's something to think about. And listen, like I said, we got another game this weekend. Let's hope things change. Over 1,000 of you in here already. Big up to every one of you. Really appreciate your support as always. And let's get into some of the transfer news before we get into some of your comments. Jashar said, big up Curtis. I've just watched the Everton match. We moved the ball too slowly amongst the defence and midfield to be a possession-based team. I mean, a lot of people were saying, you know, Ben White in particular is moving the ball too slow when he gets the ball in defence. The only flip side of that, and listen, I'm not massively a fan of Ben White, but the flip side of that, where is your ball player? I remember being in a team, we had a ball playing centre midfielder, and our manager said to us, no matter where you are, he is the escape clause. If you're in defence and you're under pressure, give it to him. If you're up front with your back to goal with no one to pass to, give him the ball. Arsenal have not had what I would call an escape clause midfielder since Santi Cazorla. Before that, it was Cesc Fabregas. So we've had two of them in 15 years. We have not replaced Santi Cazorla. I don't understand how you can be a possession-based football team without a possession-based central midfielder. Why has Arteta spent 240 million and never signed that player? I will never understand that. M. Barron said it's not only the tactics, but also the attitude of the manager is bad. And I totally agree with that. I think he's trying to be a dictator. He's trying to impose himself on people. I'm the manager, so, you know, get down or lay down kind of thing. Sometimes you got to get these guys to run through brick walls for you, especially when they don't believe in you. Why did he even buy Pablo Mari? I mean, we're going to speak about this shortly. Never replace Cazorla. He was a genius. Possession-based midfielder, Thomas Partey. I mean, it's like N'Golo Kante being your ball-playing centre midfielder. It's not his job. That's not what he's good at. OJ said it's Granit. He's our ball-playing centre mid. And OJ, there you go. There's our problem. If we're going to make Granit Xhaka our ball-playing centre midfielder, then we're only going to go one way, and that's down the table, as we have done. Why was me said, but Curtis, we also had our worst spell last season in the 3-4-3 formation until ESR. I hear you. We didn't have a player that could play between the lines until ESR came in. However, we have ESR and we have Odegaard now, which is why I think the three at the back could work against the bigger opposition. Let's talk about the biggest transfer story of the day when it comes to Arsenal. I'm probably going to make a poll for this, actually, because I really want to know your thoughts and opinions. I'm sure you've all seen the title, of course. Gini Wijnaldum is thought to be an option for Arsenal, with PSG willing to listen to offers for him to go out on loan next month, and the player is open to a move back to the Premier League. I want your initial thoughts on this. I've got to be honest. This is where I'm at with Gini Wijnaldum. It doesn't excite me. I've got to be honest. It doesn't excite me. It's not an exciting one, but I could not say no to him right now with our midfield. Couldn't say no. On loan, Wijnaldum, Premier League winner, Champions League winner. Why not? Why not? The disappointing thing about this, I'm going to put a poll up. Would you take Wijnaldum at Arsenal? The disappointing thing about this deal for me would be he's on big wages. Remember, he was criticised for leaving Liverpool for financial reasons. He was supposed to go to Barcelona. He ended up going to PSG. Now, Gini Wijnaldum is 31 years of age, and I'm just double-checking his wage. His current wage is, he is on, it's telling you his yearly wage. How much does he earn per week? Let me just see. It says about 11 million a season. So he's on big, big money. He signed a contract until 2024 with PSG, and he earns around, how much are they saying here? 150 grand a week, it says here. 150 grand a week for Gini Wijnaldum, 31 years of age. I couldn't see him ever becoming a permanent deal. And I don't know if Arsenal need a stopgap. I would rather get a permanent deal, a Renato Sanchez, a Basuma, but we are where we are. We are where we are. And right now, the way our midfielders are playing at the moment, he would probably be our best centre midfielder the day he signed for us, if I'm being totally honest. In fact, he's on 165 grand a week. He would be our top midfielder. Sometimes, there's an old saying in life, people, it, beggars can't be choosers. Right now, we're begging. Do you know what I'm saying? We're sitting in the doorway asking for change, man. Our best midfielder, Thomas Partey, he can't pass wind at the moment. Sambi Lokonga, got man of the match a couple games ago, can't get back in the team. Your boy Ainsley can't get a kick after getting man of the match. Gini Wijnaldum, for me, on loan, 6 months, no-brainer. Champions League winner, Premier League winner, experienced. Liverpool wanted to keep him. Let's not act like Liverpool threw him out the door. Liverpool offered him a new deal. He was offered way more money at PSG, and he followed the money. Now, the player is open to a move back to the Premier League. Now, I saw a few reports yesterday. A lot of Liverpool fans were saying, getting back to Liverpool, they didn't replace him in the summer. There is apparently a belief that Klopp wouldn't bring him back. I think Klopp was disappointed with the way that he left. Klopp's quite a strict man in those kind of things. He never signed Coutinho back when he had opportunities. He said he was disappointed with the way he left. Clement said, I'm not excited by Gini, but he is what we need in midfield right now because we don't have a ball-playing midfielder. He would be the top midfielder in the team. That's how low the bar is at. I mean, listen, I don't think Gini is a bad player. This is a guy who's won the Champions League and the Premier League, and he's been a figurehead in that team as well. It's not like he was a bench player. He was a regular. I think that the Arsenal feeling will be, this is a guy that Liverpool let go. He's gone elsewhere. Then we're bringing him in to be the main man. It feels again like we're picking up the leftovers that someone else has already had. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why Arsenal, I don't know if I'm speaking for myself here. I would rather see a permanent younger player. But listen, like I always said, sometimes you need an option mid-season that gets you to the end of the season. Gini Wijnaldum, with Partey and El Neni going to AFCON, that only leaves us with Xhaka and Maitland-Niles and Lokonga in January. We're in no position whatsoever to be saying no to Gini Wijnaldum. This guy's won more than any player in the Arsenal squad, people, any of them. The second he walks in, he can say, I've had a more illustrious career than every single one of you, including your manager. So whilst I understand that most Arsenal fans are not going to be, there's going to be no parade for signing Gini Wijnaldum, we're in absolutely no situation to be turning our nose up at a Champions League and Premier League winner. And big up Fran in the chat. Hope you're well, my bro. I know you was on a bit earlier, man. I was traveling, wasn't able to tune in, but I hope the stream went well. He said, a proper midfielder, get him in ASAP alongside Partey. And listen, I think Partey needs somebody like this around him. Because people say, and I see this get written a lot about some of our players. People say, oh, Partey should be a leader. Aubameyang should be a leader. Partey's 28, Aubameyang's 32. They should be a leader. Being older doesn't mean you're a leader. Being older doesn't guarantee maturity. I've been in dressing rooms with 30-odd-year-old players who are quiet, who are introverts, who are not leaders, who don't talk. Equally, you could be 21, 22 and be a big booming character and a leader. So because Aubameyang's 32 doesn't mean he's a leader. He got the captain's armband because he was our best player, and we used it as a marketing tool to get him to sign a new contract. We've been down that road before. Thierry Henry, Cesc Fabregas, Robin van Persie. They weren't necessarily captains. They were given the armband because of their status amongst the team. Now, Omar's saying he wouldn't take Gini. When I say people, like, I would absolutely 100% take him in the current situation. If you offered me Renato Sanchez, Basuma, a permanent deal, I would take that deal over Gini Wijnaldum because Gini, for me, wouldn't sign for Arsenal on a permanent. I don't think Arsenal would sign a guy that is 32 next year on 165 grand a week. It would be a risky contract to give him. Nusantara said, hi, Curtis. I'm a Liverpool fan. I must say, if you get Gini in your first 11, what you are getting is a player with 100% commitment, the know-how mentality to win trophies. I think the problem is where his mindset is at. He'd been at Liverpool for a number of years, so he adopted them to his... when you're at a club for a long time and you have success there, you take that club to your heart. It means more to you than a club that you've just signed for. you could see that Wijnaldum would run through brick walls for Jurgen Klopp. It meant so much to him. You saw that when he scored in the Champions League against Barcelona. He's now gone to PSG, realised the grass isn't greener, and he wants a move back. I want to go back to England. Is Arsenal convenience for him? Oh, let me just get my family back to Arsenal, back to England. You know what I'm saying? And it's retirement settings. You know, it feels like players now are coming to Arsenal to see out their career. Willian, Wijnaldum, you know, Aubameyang and Ozil kind of, it's retirement home settings, you know? Outgun said Wijnaldum isn't good enough. Facts, leftover FC settings. We need supreme technical quality in the midfield. Plus, he will just turn on the manager once he realizes Arteta is a fraud. I mean, listen, like I say, people, Gini Wijnaldum, in my opinion, walks into the Arsenal team. He's better than all our midfielders right now. Partey at times at Atletico, maybe you could have had an argument. The Partey we have at Arsenal is all I can judge him on. And Wijnaldum is better than all our midfielders right now. So I just don't think we're in a position to be saying Gini is not good enough. You're saying leftover FC, he turned down the contract. You know, he turned down the deal at Liverpool. So it's not like he was pushed out of the door. However, I do understand your point. There's just some sort of feeling of, okay, we're picking up a player that was released or has left Liverpool. They've kind of used and abused him, took all of his best quality, and then we're picking him up at the back end of his career. Let's see what you're saying. We should inquire for Danilo Pereira. The thing is, some people saying Gini wouldn't come to Arsenal. I think he would. I think he absolutely would, because he's sitting on the bench. You know, he's sitting on the bench at PSG. When you've been a regular starter in a team like Liverpool for a number of years, you won trophies, you've been successful. He's not going to want to stay there and just sit on the bench. You know, it's the World Cup next year. No player can afford to sit down over the next 12 months. To come to Arsenal for 6 months, get 20 games, end of the season, maybe Arsenal buy him. I think he would come to Arsenal. He has been trash at PSG. I mean, I'm just looking now. I mean, look, Messi's got 1 league goal at PSG. You know, but we'd take Messi, won't we? You know, it's just one of them. He's made 14 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist, 7 starts, 2 goals in 5 Champions League games. I would take him. Listen, I would take him. I think the general consensus, I mean, I'm looking at the poll, 72% of you saying, or 71% of you saying you would take Wijnaldum at Arsenal. Like I said, if you can get me a better permanent deal, a Basuma, someone like that, I'm taking Basuma. But if we're just looking at a short-term loan and we haven't got a lot of money, it's an absolute no-brainer of a deal for 6 months. You know, honestly, it really is. Liverbird Live said, Gini is levels on your midfield. This is like when your fans were turning up their noses at Henderson when those rumours started. Idiocy at its finest. That's why you stay in the mud. This guy, you're always coming for us, aren't you, with aggression? You know what? With Henderson, I was a little bit more against that than I am the Gini one, because Henderson, they were saying he wanted a 3-year contract. And he was starting to have injury problems as well. So to me, it was like Henderson on a 3-year deal with Gini for 6 months, you know. Christina Aguilera settings, man. I'm a Genie in a bottle. Get him in, man. 6 months will take him. Sterling, take him. I'm telling you, Arsenal, let me tell you the mentality of not all, some Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans are like this at times. You've got £10 in your pocket. That's all you've got. And I pull out £20 to give you and say, here, you can have £20 because you've only got 10, so I'm going to give you 20. And Arsenal fans go, 20? Can't you give me 40? And the guy walks off and says, you know what, forget it then. Stay with your 10. I was going to give you 20, but you're asking me for 40. That's Arsenal. We've come 8th in the league 2 years in a row. Arteta's got us playing the most boring football in 2.5 decades. He took us out of Europe quicker than Brexit. Man are saying, no, I don't want Raheem Sterling. He's not good enough. Oh, no, I wouldn't take Gini Wijnaldum, the Champions League winner. He's leftovers. You know what I'm saying? People, we're not Gucci, Louis Vuitton no more, you know. I'm telling you, we ain't been shopping in Harrods for years at Arsenal. Do you know what I mean, people? I'm telling you, we're in TK Maxx. We got to take what we can get right now. Beggars can't be choosers. Right now, we're begging people. If Gini Wijnaldum, we can get him for 6 months, take him. Take him. Get him in for 6 months. We'll deal with it in the summer. Yeah, we're mad, man. Yeah, this is why I say History Channel. As much as I show these pictures in the background, we also got to remember these are a distant memory. We ain't got Bergkamp and Henry arm in arm anymore, people. We're not Gucci FC anymore, man. I'm telling you. We're in a lot lower than that now. It's like I said, it's straight TK Maxx, and we're on the sale rack night now. If you can get a Wijnaldum in a medium, or a Raheem Sterling in a large, you got to take it. You know what I mean? You can't turn it down. Darren said Arsenal fans didn't want Bernardo Silva, one of the best players in the league. Yeah, I remember we was linked with him in the summer. I did a video. I remember people saying, he's too small. He gets bullied, this, that, the other. Now they're saying he's one of the best players in Europe. We are Lidl FC, my friend. We will never derail the train. I mean, listen, don't get me started on him. I did a whole show on him, not yesterday, the day before. Arsenal shopping at TK Maxx but paying Harrods prices. Exactly. That's the other thing. The thing's on sale for £20, but we're giving them 50 and saying keep the change. West Ham versus Barca or Dortmund. Yeah. Europa League just got lively, man. I bet West Ham were disappointed with that. But hey, let's move on, people. Let's move on. A bit more transfer news. It's a bit of a transfer day today. Not too much going on. Tomorrow we'll be obviously building and looking ahead to the Southampton game. Big up Craig, who said, big up Curtis, I've just finished my Zoom chat to help me with my progress. I hope all is going well. And listen, hope things are getting better. I'm glad that you can tune in and keep us updated, man. Trust me, bro. Things will get better. Chad said the best investment we can also make is getting Ten Hag at all costs, because that PE teacher ain't taking us nowhere. It was interesting that I think Ten Hag and Overmars extended their contracts at the start of this week, which is not the end of the world. I mean, listen, you can still get them out of there. You probably just got to pay another couple of million to break that contract, unfortunately. Ahmad Sissoko said, as an LFC fan, the problem at Arsenal at AFC is fans delusional. Listen, some, not all. I'm always going to back my fan base, but I've said before, in my opinion, the two biggest problems at Arsenal is the owner and the fan base. Now, a lot of you will be going, what? A manager? But what I mean by that is the right owner gets the right manager. The wrong owner hires the wrong manager. So if you get a better owner than Kroenke, they get rid of Arteta anyway. So they're two of the biggest problems. Also, on top of that, we don't have a fan base that move collectively. We rather go against each other while allowing, the real villains to get away with it. That is the problem. Zach said Dani Alves versus Cresswell. I mean, listen, right now, Barcelona are that bad. West Ham would cause them problems, especially in the home leg. They would not want to come to London in I think they said February and play against Mikel Antonio, putting elbows on man's cheekbone. Man said hype merchants, Kroenke out. What did he just say? Curtis has a better fan base than Arsenal. Listen, we're more positive, man. Do you know what I mean? We're more positive here, people. So Enos out, I'm telling you. Antonio versus PK, problems. Don't worry about the status and the CV. He would run PK ragged, I think, honestly. Let's talk about a potential striker, because listen, I think there's a lot of frustration amongst the fan base right now, and people want a striker to join Arsenal. Charles Watts has come out with this report today. Arsenal have reportedly been scouting Lille's Jonathan David as the North London club plot a summer move for a new striker. I mean, listen, I got to be honest, people. I wanted one in January. I'm not too interested in the summer right now. Jonathan David, 21 years of age, Canadian international, having a brilliant season at Lille. Arsenal, according to the report, have been scouting him since he was in Belgium, but decided not to take a risk when he was in Belgium. This happens a lot of the time. A player will be in a lower league. You look at him, you go, maybe he's not good enough, the league. Then he goes somewhere else. Then you got to pay a fortune for him. So maybe we should have took a chance. Some people saying Jonathan who? I mean, listen, if you don't watch, obviously, French football and stuff, you may not know too much about him. He's a player, I got to be honest, that 18 months ago, I was like, nah, not sure about him. The more I've seen of him, the more I'm convinced I would go for him. I like him. Just to put it into context, he scored 11 goals this season in 17 games in the French league. He's got 3 goals in 6 Champions League games for Lille. And he is having a fantastic season for Lille. And there are rumors that he may move. Scored 7 in 12 for Canada in the past year. He's quick. He's powerful. He's 21. Lots of potential. He's very raw, but he's a beast. And I definitely think he's somebody that Arsenal should be looking at. Herco said, no more French league players. So you're not having him. I'm not a fan of him. I'm going to end the Wijnaldum poll, and we'll do a Jonathan David. Would you sign Jonathan David, or would you go for someone else? Now, Arsenal, again, there's reports that Arsenal again looking at Vlahovic. Southland has finally said he's the Canadian Eddie and Nketiah. I mean, if that's what he is, stay well away from him. What I've seen of him, I think he's better than that. Well, Lille, we've been burnt once and we've burnt them once. They ripped us apart with Pepe at 72 million. We got a little bit of revenge getting Gabriel for 25 million. We're very hit and miss when it comes to the French league. Big up Chris Atkins in the chat. Charlie said we got Lacazette, Giroud and Pepe from the French league. And what would you say with those? How many of them were really successful? Ainsley said I'd prefer his brother, Craig David. Can I get a rewind? Oh, man, I'm telling you. But Jonathan David, 21 years of age. It's believed they'll be willing to let him go for about £45 million now. Like I keep saying, the striker market right now is not very nice. It is not very nice. You're going to pay 50, 60 million for a guy who's just got some potential, who maybe had one good season in a league that you're not even sure about. Bear in mind, the French league is considered the 6th biggest league in Europe right now. It's not a top quality league. It's hit and miss, 45 million. Again, I'm not sure, people. I'm not sure. I do like him. But as I've always said, man, the striker market right now is very unstable. I've said many times I would go for Vlahovic. I'm getting the impression that Arsenal are doing the thing they were doing in the summer with Locatelli. They're doing it with Vlahovic. They're chasing a player that wants somewhere else. He doesn't want Arsenal, but we're running him down. Elliot Roberts said, as a Canadian, finally a Canadian in one of the big 6 clubs in the best league in the world. Oh, yes. Elliot, give us a little rundown. How good do you think he is? I can't pretend that I watch this guy weekly. I've seen him a few times in the Champions League and a couple times in the French league, and he looks good to me. A few YouTube videos, but I do remember YouTube made Yaya Sanogo look good when we signed him, and we all know how that postman worked out. But what do you think? What do you think about Jonathan David, people? The striker market is weak right now. Vlahovic would be great. Osimhen would cost 80, 90 million. Ivan Toney, I'm not convinced, would score enough goals. Ollie Watkins, for me, I don't think he's any better than Lacazette. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. John Layat said, big up Curtis. We're unlucky with the French league. Pascal Sagan was in the team of the season for Lille in 2001 season in Liga. Comes to Arsenal, he's dog. I mean, listen, Kolasinac was in German team of the season ahead of Alaba at left back. Comes to Arsenal, and he's been playing like the doorman at the local nightclub ever since we signed him. So being in a team of the season, I believe Xhaka was in team of the season as well. Look at him. We ain't touched Champions League since. So we have to be careful. Sometimes they're just hype merchants, Walk of Bork said he's top quality. I'm Canadian. I watch all his games. He can play the false 9. He would fit Liverpool, so get him before they do. I like that. That's a good report. Jake said 18 goals in 15 games. We need help. Big time we need help. Elliot said he's a modern-day poacher, very quick in the box and a good finisher. I take him and Calvert-Lewin to be the new strike force. Listen, I'd take that as well. I would take that. Mohammed said, get Wijnaldum on loan, buy Vlahovic and Moussa Diaby, bring back Guendouzi and Saliba. I mean, Guendouzi's gone, and they're going to activate the clause. Saliba hopefully comes back. Moussa Diaby, He's lightning quick, man. Looks lively on that left wing. Vlahovic, I just don't think he's going to come to us. He's got better options out there. And we got 1,500 people in the chat, people. Can we lick 1,000 likes? That should be calm and casual, people. You know how YouTube goes, man. You know, the more likes a video gets, they go, oh, you know what? A lot of people like this video. We're going to promote it. We're going to make this channel improve and get bigger. That's just the way it goes, people. So, yeah, a like would be appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe. We want to hit that 40K, hopefully by Christmas / New Year's Day. That will be a nice way to start the year. 40K settings. We're nearly there, people. And Torreira's also having a good season at Fiorentina. So, I mean, listen, when it comes to Arsenal and transfers, again, you know, just a little thing. I always put some notes down here. I like to come prepared. And I was just looking. This is going to fall in line with the next story we're quickly going to touch on. When you look at the players that Mikel Arteta has signed, particularly the ones that he signed in the first season. So he signed Cedric, which I can never understand that deal. That was brown envelopes all over the place in that deal. 3-year contract for a guy that was getting released by Southampton. Brown envelopes. Doesn't hardly ever play for Arsenal. You got Pablo Mari, who hasn't been seen since Lukaku did what Lukaku did to him at the Emirates. He should have been arrested for that, by the way. Alex Renarson, worst goalkeeper I've ever seen at Arsenal. No exaggeration. I don't know if he'd get in a Sunday league team that we could build a team. He probably wouldn't get in it. He's that bad. Willian, Willian was like a nightmare. It's like we fell asleep and had a nightmare that Willian played for Arsenal, and by the time we woke up, he'd left and gone to Brazil. Another shocking transfer bit of business. He brought Dani Ceballos back to Arsenal on loan. He turned into Kylie Minogue. You know, I'm spinning around, move out of my way. That guy spent the whole season just spinning around like a spin top. He was finished as well. The only decent signing that he made in that first season was Gabriel and Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey's been a flop so far. Let's keep it 100. Thomas Partey's a good player, but so far he's been poor. So in that first season and a half, he made one successful signing, which was Gabriel. His signings were awful. So 50% of his transfers have been flops. Do you know what I mean? Ceballos, during lockdown, we had enough going off. No fans in the stadium, and this spin top keeps spinning around in midfield. Pepe was brown envelopes, but that was Emery. You know what I mean? That was Emery. That wasn't him. Yeah, I got to admit, I'm going to keep it 100. Out of all the Arsenal signings this summer, Ben White has the biggest question mark next to his name for me. I'll keep it 100. He's got the biggest question mark. Tomiyasu, I think he's a solid right back. I think he needs to get forward more. But I think he's been solid for £19 million. 23 years of age. Yeah, man, I'll take that. Tavares was an £8 million backup player. It is what it is. Ramsdale, you know my feelings on Ramsdale. He's proved me completely wrong. Lokonga, I think, has got talent. I think he's been promoted more than his talent should be. He shouldn't be like a first-choice centre mid. He should be third or fourth choice, just learning his trade. Odegaard is Odegaard. I think Odegaard can get better the better Arsenal become. But Ben White, for me, is the one that worries me. I can't lie, people. Because Ben White, I look at and I think, okay, you're tidy on the ball. That's great. But for £50 million, I feel like you should be a top quality defender in terms of your defending. It's crazy nowadays. You buy players for completely different reasons. We're buying ball-playing goalkeepers nowadays. That's how much the game has changed. I look at Ben White, I think, okay, maybe you're good at picking a pass, but how good are you when you're up against a really good striker? And so far, I'm a little bit up and down. I'm a bit hit and miss with Benjamin White, you know. I'm not sure. He's not bad. My question would still be, number one, was he better than what Saliba is? Could we have brought Saliba back and spent 50 million on a midfielder, which I think we desperately need even more? Dalfog said, big up Curtis, great stream as usual. Not made a comment in a while, but always watching daily. Keep the content flowing. Big up, bro. Keep throwing them comments in. Lachlan said, got to consider the age. You will only get better. Have we got the patience? Have we got the time for that? Did we need somebody who was ready right now, established, I'm quality, I'm ready to go? Or did we need somebody that, okay, in 2 years, this guy will probably be really good? I think we needed ready-made, He's okay. I don't want to write him off, but I'm still not fully convinced. I'll tell you one of the biggest problems with Arsenal, and this is something I see all the time, is it's the connections. When you look at the best teams around Europe or even in the Premier League, they don't even have to be the top teams. You will see partnerships in their team that work so effectively. When you watch Liverpool, Trent and Salah on that right-hand side. It's a write-off. But even when you look at West Ham, I see Antonio and Jared Bowen. They link up brilliant. I see Declan Rice and Souček in midfield. They link up brilliant. Partnerships all over the pitch. When you watch Leicester, Ndidi and Tillemans, these partnerships all over the place. How many partnerships do you look at in the Arsenal team and think, oh, those two work really well together? The left back and the left winger, they're brilliant together. The two centre mids have got a great partnership. Where are the partnerships? It's like we're very disconnected as a team, We've got a goalkeeper and a back four. Okay, they're not bad, to be fair. Tommy, Ben White and Gabriel isn't bad. You then go into the midfield and you're like, well, I don't know who Partey's best midfield partner is out of those guys. People saying Saka and Smith Rowe, but, they're on opposite wings. So they're very far apart. It's hard for opposite wingers to kind of link up. You're so far apart from each other. Maybe Aubameyang and Lacazette, but we know at the moment, it seemed like we were going 4-4-2 and building something. We've got rid of that all of a sudden. Mr. Wilson said Arteta and Xhaka. Yeah, they've got a great partnership. Gladiator Scoop said, name me one top centre-back with the same physical profile to Ben White. He's 24. He isn't that young. Look at Van Dijk at the same age. I mean, like I said, people, he's 24. He's not a write-off. It's not like I'm saying, he's a terrible centre-back, and he can get better. Might, possible. Ifs, buts, maybes. I think sometimes you've got to sign someone and say, bang, he's ready, he's quality now. Because not every player develops. When Jack Wilshere was there, we said he's going to be one of the best centre mids in the world. Injuries got the better of it. Snake Eye said, who would you blame that on? Again, it's the manager. It's the manager. Someone just said 29 chemistry, red lines everywhere, FIFA settings, people. And I just don't think we got enough cohesion on the pitch, enough link up, enough, partnerships. And I think that's a big problem. Ozil and Kolasinac, I'm telling you, that brother would have, he was ready to go to war for him. That's for certain. Before we finish, remember this guy. Listen, if it carries on, you're going to see this guy on the front of milk cartons, mate. They got to declare this guy missing. Romelu Lukaku is wanted for crimes against Pablo Mari. Now, Flamengo want Pablo Mari on a 1-year loan. Apparently, Pablo Mari is unhappy at Arsenal, hasn't settled in England, and he's unhappy at his lack of game time. For me, no brainer, not good enough. He's on 70 grand a week. Put an obligation in there to buy him. There's no point loaning him out for a year. Then in a year we have to bring him back. If he goes on loan, make sure there's an obligation to buy him and get rid of him. Not good enough. Left-footed Mertesacker. In fact, I would say Mertesacker was better than Pablo Mari, and I didn't even rate Mertesacker. Mertesacker read the game better than Pablo Mari. Not good enough. Hasn't worked out. 70 grand a week. I haven't even seen his name on the bench for about a month. I don't know where he is. And as I said, Lukaku genuinely savaged this guy out of Arsenal. The funny thing is, Lukaku came back in that game. I was like, oh my God, he is going to be like Drogba this season in the Prem. Everyone else I've watched him play against, he's been pretty average. It's just typical of Arsenal, isn't it? That, the day somebody plays against Arsenal, they look like an absolute world beater. for me, again, bang average. Get him back over there, but I don't want him coming back. No, not being disrespectful. You need it to be a permanent deal at the end of the loan. Otherwise, it's pretty pointless if he ends up back at Arsenal in a year. So for me, make it a permanent deal. He's 28 in August. In fact, he's 28 now. He's 29 next August. It's not going to happen for him. People saying he's actually already in Brazil. So yeah, I expect that deal to happen. It was another kind of strange deal. When Arteta was at Manchester City, Pablo Mari was in the reserves at Man City. Never made a first team appearance. Ended up going to Brazil doing fairly well. Again, I got to be honest, people. I think that was a brown envelopes deal again. It looked like a brown envelopes deal to me. The deal sort of came out of nowhere. He got 4 years on 70 grand a week for a guy that's only really played in the Brazilian league. It's got envelopes written all over it. And Pablo Mari for me, not the answer. Get him out on loan, but make sure there's a permanent deal at the end of it. Hasn't worked out. And just didn't work. Didn't work. And he's 29 in August, so I can't see him getting better. Zhao said this was one of the strangest deals Arsenal have done. Like I said, that first 18 months, those deals all need questioning. Cedric, Pablo Mari, Renarson, Thomas Partey. Not that he's not a good player, but we got to get more out of him. That is for certain. A lot of brown envelopes under the table. I'm telling you. People, I'm out of here. Short one today. How long was I on for? 56 minutes. There's 1,600 of you in the chat. Make sure you smash the like button on this video and subscribe. I will be back tomorrow around 2:30. There was no Talk is Cheap done today, actually. We couldn't get it done. There was an issue at AFTV's office, so we weren't able to record the show. So that won't be out today. The next one will be out on Monday. So apologies for that. Don't forget, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be previewing the game, so on and so forth. Watch along on Saturday. Hopefully we pick up 3 points. Don't forget, they're going to have a 40-year-old Willy Caballero in goal. If we do not win that, I'm telling you, Arsenal therapy will go to new lows on Sunday if we do not win against a 40-year-old keeper. Listen, big up to every single one of you for tuning in. Let me end the poll there. Would you take Jonathan David? 59% of you said you would. And I will see you all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day, people. And I will see you soon. Bless.